this month we are at all truck shows. For August, the show is all about truck shows. Right now, we're at the Great Canadian Truck Show, which is happening this weekend. We're in setup day. Hey, if you remember this one here, we did this one I was over here driving this last year when I was here. This one is really cool. So the month of August is all truck show month, and we are going to be covering all the shows from Clifford to the Great Canadian Truck Show to 519 to all kinds of shows. We're going to be there, and it's going to be a really cool event. So make sure you join the podcast on the month of August. Make sure you look for all of us because we are at the shows. And by the way, make sure you stay tuned because I'm going to explain exactly who's on our show for us. Okay, so let's get on to who we've got on. Of course, the first episode in August is always What's New, or for the month is What's New, and this is the episode you're listening to, so you're going to find out who's on. Next week, man, starting on Tuesday, August 6th, we kick it off with a truck driver who hauls cars across the country in the U.S., but he's also an actor. We're going to talk to actor Jeffrey Ford about his new movie coming up, what he's doing, how he does it while he's still trucking up and down the road, and just some of the things we talk about in trucking all the time. So we got Jeffrey Ford coming in. Then we're going to take a look at the Clifford Truck Show. Hey, that happened at the end of June, and some amazing rides, some of the old stuff, a great show. I'll be talking about recapping that event for you. We've got the Honda Indy race trucks. Now, you guys probably remember I went down to Honda Indy, and hey, I didn't go for the race. I went for the race trucks because to me, that is the coolest part about being at the Honda Indy. So we talked to a few friends while we were down there, and we're showcasing you some of the trucks. If you've never seen some of these, the back of some of these trailers and what's involved, then you're certainly going to want to tune into this one because they are really cool. They're what a lot of us aspire to hauling around for sure. $1 million trailers set up just for what you need it to do. Hey, we're also going to be taking a look at, we got our friend Mike Hahn from Transwest. You've probably heard Mike's name here before. He's a former road knight. He's been on the show before. He's now with Transwest. They're a new sponsor for us, and we're going to be talking to him about what Transwest has to offer. We're going to also be talking with, we've got all kinds of stuff going on with Special Olympics. It is their 15th year, and they're trying to hit $1 million. And we're going to talk to a number of the organizers, from Tammy Blackwell to Heather Blackwell and to athlete Chris, about what she wants to do and how you can help by accepting the challenge. Hey, we're going to be taking a look at the 519. If you missed the 519 Loud and Proud show up in Orangeville, it was an amazing thing. They had truck pulls. They had some serious trucks going up there. And one of my favorite fleets was the Eagleson. So we are going to be talking about that show, recapping it, do some interviews that we did while we were up there. So stay tuned for us. That's going to be happening around August 14th here. And then we go to the races. Man, it's all about races this month. We were at Honda Indy, and then we caught up with Bob Schulteis of RJS Motorsports with his practice series. Now, Bob's been racing all across Ontario. He was just at Sabo Beach there not too long ago. It got rained out apparently, but he got a few laps in. But Bob's been part of the trucking industry for a long time. He was previously in safety. He's now moved into the marketing field of the industry, and he is still racing. One of his sponsors is the Driver Check car, as we call it. And so we're caught up with Bob about the race season, about how things are going. And while we were there, we also caught up with somebody else who's got a real passion for race and actually redid his car to be like the Tom Petty stock car from back in the 70s and 80s. So stay tuned, and there's a lot of stuff going on there. Once we go from the races, hey, we go to the Great Canadian Truck Show. That just happened there not too long ago, and this is just a great show. It was just a small family show put on by the organizers previously with Fergus. They had about 60 trucks out there, and it was a good little show. And again, they held it at the racetrack, so it was at Flamborough Racetrack. So there's a lot of racing and stuff going on this month. So we're going to recap the show and show you some of the highlights from them. We got some interviews that we did there as well. We're going to talk a little bit about careers and safety with Martin Molinaro. Now, Martin is previously an instructor, and he's now moved on with RIMS Transport, and he's in charge of safety. And we talked to him about what it's like to be in safety, what makes a good safety person, because we've all seen good and bad ones, my friend, and Martin's one of the good ones. So we're going to talk to him about what's going on with that. And then, of course, we caught up with the folks over at Trucking for a Cure, and there is some serious stuff. And if you've heard the name Tony Justice, then you want to stay tuned for this episode, because this episode involves Tony and what one sponsor decided to do to help out the cancer drive. So we're going to talk to Brett Akey of Chrome Supply Warehouse and also the folks over at Trucking for a Cure about what's going on and how Tony Justice is helping their cause. So that's just some of the stuff going on. We are also going to be taking a look at the St. Thomas Big Rigs in Sparta, Ontario. That's where the trucks race. And of course, we're all about racing and truck shows this month. I'm going to give you an episode on my favorite trucks, and we're going to include one of my a favorite fleet. We're going to take a look at some of the fleets that I saw while I was out there on the tracks and in the shows, and so that's going to be a good one as well. And so those are some of the things we're going to do. We also talked to a few of the drivers at some of the shows. We're going to find out what it takes to get your truck in show order and what kind of stuff they're doing to make sure it looks show order even when they're running down the road. So we've got a jam-packed month. We've got 3 main episodes a week. We got bonus features on Mondays and Fridays. And remember that you can follow us on our YouTube channel. Just look for the Lead Pedal Podcast on YouTube. Subscribe. We'd love to see you there. You can get previews of all the content. You do not want to miss the trucks there because that's the best way to see the trucks. And you can also get a look at all of our main episodes there for sure. We'd love for you to subscribe on the podcast. Remember, we're on SoundCloud, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Stitcher, TuneIn, of course, Apple Podcasts. Wherever you listen to your podcasts, you can find the Lead Pedal Podcast. So it'd be really cool if you would subscribe there. And hey, don't forget to follow us on social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and of course, YouTube. And I am on LinkedIn. So if you want to follow me there, you'll also see stuff there. So lots of stuff going on.